Hello, Hugo.
Hello. How are you?
Welcome. Welcome to our interview, to our conversation, which
Thank
is
you.
which is taking place from the gallery and during the exhibition Unmasked One. Unmasked One. And this exhibition is part of the series Unmasked, where different artists of the gallery are coming together in a new way, in a way they've been not being shown, they haven't been shown until now in such kind of dialogue. And these are always three artists of the gallery. In this case, in Unmasked One, this is Hugo Stuber, Annette Zelle, and Margaret Hunter. So I'm asking every one of you 3 questions. And these questions will give the structure of our talk today. So welcome again.
Thank you.
Your work, part of the exhibition, is actually just behind me from the series Personalities Unmasked.
Right.
And my first question is, where do you see the connection to the theme Unmasked, between the theme Unmasked and the exhibited works?
Well, it was fun because I had already been working on those masks, let's say masks, because when we understand mask, we understand like when we see those monsters, we understand a mask like in Carnival, you put on a mask like a Frankenstein mask or a vampire or a monster, a werewolf or a goblin, something like that. And and therefore you make a mask. So let's say I made the people put some masks, like a monster mask. But actually the point was like to flip that, like a flip concept, like to say this monster mask is actually not the mask, but the real face of a personality that with his normal face is wearing a mask. Like the masks are falling down. Like I put some of the personalities, just a sample of them from that are ruling the world, like to get into the topic of the people like that rule us with not so clean methods, so to say. You know what I mean? You know, when
from different parts of our society, from left, from right, from monarchy, from politics, or from the economy. So different parts of the society. No,
that's right.
And for that, you use the technique of the extreme expression and overlapping with your figures,
That's
with
right.
your absolutely favorite other figures from the fantasy worlds, like
Right.
monsters, different kinds of creatures, science fiction. So these kind of creatures, they've been interesting for you since your childhood. So
Yeah,
this doesn't surprise me at all.
that's
And
right.
but this case, now I will come a little bit closer. In this case, you are using something additional, in a new technique, which until now you didn't. So you didn't use. This is a print technique, a
That's
printing,
right.
and using special filter.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah.
can you tell us more about
Yeah,
that?
of course. Yeah. Well, what let's put it that way. I was inspired always. I had a fascination for monsters, and when I see some kind of the people ruling our economy or politics, I think that they could apply to those real monsters. So I picked up in the history of science fiction, horror films, comics, fantasy movies, and I started making these characters. So I put a bit of, for example, that one, it's like the Frankenstein of Boris Karloff. Without being it completely, I just put a lot of that. Or this would be kind of a vampire drinking blood with red eyes. The other would be like kind of a zombie or something like that, with something very disgusting going from its mouth. Or the other kind of a zombie too, a vampire, or a kind of whatever, a goblin or something like that. You should think of Lord of the Rings or Star Wars or Dracula and werewolves, all of that. And what I did is, like, I think in style, I was inspired by these figures because I was always fascinated about them. I played with the little figures also, and I drew them, and I read comics, I saw movies, and I wanted to have the this inspiration from this kind of worlds. And on the other side, I wanted to put it on the artwork with a technique that could show that in a direct way, which was like the four color printing. So what I did, I was just using pictures from the internet in very low resolution, and then I applied some layers of color where draw I draw the rest, like when you draw, like children draw. Well, it was a bit like the joke when you start making the joke that you characterize a person like the worst of it and you want to make it ridiculous. And but I did it with filled with let's say with paint brushes in Photoshop. So I just made some layers and painted it, and then I made a kind of filter where it would all see like a four color printing, like the dots of the four patterns that go when you print, like, you know, CMYK, cyan,
Yeah.
cyan, it's blue,
Yeah.
magenta, yellow, and black,
Yeah.
just for K. So this in different positions, directions, or angles make the dots. When you go farther, they look like realistic, but when you go near, you see all the dots, and
Yeah, they start disappearing. So it is
it starts
actually other
disappearing.
way around. Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
see the details, you don't see the microscopic
that's right.
part, but you see, it starts blurring actually. The more
Yeah.
you come near, the more blurry it is,
Yes, yeah. And
right?
I want, yes, and I wanted that because it was just like mm, it was I wanted, with that I wanted to show the style that inspired me. Like when you're looking at a film poster from such a film, you look at the poster, oh, Dracula, you go near and then you see all the points, Dracula,
Yeah,
whatever.
from the
Or when,
50s and from the 60s, these
yeah,
posters.
yeah, from the B movies or from the 60s, there was already, they started like comics started already in the 50s, I think, like the science fiction or
Yeah,
hero comics, monster comics, and 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 this is the technique they use in comics, like the dots, and that's what I wanted to use, so that when you come near, you feel, it's like a poster. On the other hand, I made that on this aluminum debond on 3 millimeters,
yeah.
40 centimeters by 48. I don't know how much in inches, but less. So the when you go,
I come closer again.
yeah, let's say if you see like a poster on a wall and you go near and you see the dots, you know already that's a poster. Okay, I don't go near and look at the dots because I know already that all posters are made, or ads in the city are made by these dots. But you see it from the far. But when you translate it into an art gallery, into an artwork, uh, when you see from far, you see the full image, and when you go close and you see the dots, the reaction is different as when you look at the dots in a in a poster you see in an ad you see in the city. Because first of all you say, why it looks like an ad, but it's not an ad because it's an artwork on a fine material which is hanging on the wall. So this gives this tension between the one and the other. Like I
And it
put
looks thin also. It looks thin like a poster, right?
on the
But
one
it
side,
is, yeah, it has this shadow to the
but it
wall.
has shadow because it's material, because it's a 3D object,
Yes, it
and
becomes a
that's
3D object. Yeah.
what I wanted, like to come out of the wall, make a little shadow, and feel that's an artwork. It's not just a, s- a cut of a poster,
Paper. Yeah.
because when you see the poster and it's just a cut, you don't realize anything more. You don't give it more importance. It's just you realize, okay, that's showing a film, that's it. But when you see it on a gallery and when you come near and then you see, but it's like a poster, and then it translates you again back to the city or to this comic. So
Yeah.
that's I was creating there.
So this way you are making like a direct connection between the film figures, like horror film figures from the last century, and the figures, the real life figures from our over the 50s and 60s, with the posters and printing methods, yeah, to our to our time now.
It's satirical. It's just like humoristic. You should understand it like satirical, because it's like it's better like making a joke about of all this. And
Yeah,
yeah,
putting in is yeah, in putting it in an extreme, it is
yeah,
also, yeah, using these methods of the satiric view or the comics. And
yeah.
yeah, this way we are coming to the second question, which I have, and this is: has the last year changed anything in your artistic praxis, and why?
Yeah, well, that was actually the first issue of this, of what was changed or modified in my artistic practice, because I was impelled to make this work. And that was funny because it was like you said before you already planned this exhibition, I felt like I had to make these personalities who were ruling the things and also the crisis situation with all this chaos, all these lockdowns, and the point that we were controlled like a police state, like a dictatorship, because it was extreme almost everywhere, and we
Yeah,
felt it very much here. And that like pushed me to give an expression to that and say, hello, you can. That's not the way of doing it. Who is actually making profit of that, of of the situation, carried like it was,
yeah.
like why this crisis, why is going the economy down, why is well, you don't know,
Why
I
it
don't know
all, why it
anymore.
happens, why it happens. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
why like that way. So it was like, no, that's not the way it should be, and they are the responsibles for that. At just little sample, I mean, there is much more responsibles. What do they want us to like, to put us, to throw us into a dictator world, to be more controlled, to what shall I
Where
say?
the world is going, and which direction is the world
It is
going,
like,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah, this is the question which we are asking ourselves.
yeah, that's it. Like it's like they it's like the point. It's like powerful technocrats that they will complete their ongoing transfer of their wealth and resource ownership from the poor and the middle class to the ultra rich, to this 1%. And they use everything, every crisis, whatever. And they press and press and press. And again, it's always again like that, make profit with the pharmaceuticals, with the the little economies got closed, the big economies still open, and all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
you can with the big big companies, big McDonald's, big whatever you say, Zara or H&M or whatever, big Mediamarkt in Germany, in Deutschland, or whatever, these are open, and the little ones, they have to close. They always have to close. The poor and the middle class goes down. The big ones, they got the big pharma still sells you the medicine for the crisis, for the illnesses, and the others always go down. And it was like it's just like they put us there so the rich get richer. It's always the same stuff. And I'm not talking about the rich, only the rich or even millionaires. I'm talking about the multi-billionaires or trillionaires. They have trillions, billions and trillions.
Okay, I understand. I understand. For me, it's also very important, or it's not surprising that in this case you are working with this overlapping with these figures, thinking about our last exhibition, your solo exhibition that was called the um, Bahnhof Zoo, the Eintagen Bahnhof Zoo,
Yeah.
and where we've been showing also, like here is the flyer of it. We've been showing only paintings, works from you,
Yeah.
where such kind of monsters and figures are coming into Berlin, because you are also like almost Berliner. Long time you lived in Berlin, and using also this the trademarks, or yeah, the
Yes. Yeah.
the logos of different companies in a humorous, in a different way. A little bit they look like the ones we know, but in the same time they are a little bit different. So that's why such kind of development now in your artistic praxis is for me just logical. But okay, let's just keep with our exhibition now with Unmasked, and I would like to know, and that will be the third question, no, which I'm asking. This is, what artistic themes are you interested in the moment, and that you would like to explore soon? So looking into the future, what do we see?
Well, what we see, actually, you showed already the picture before, and what I put is like in the, let's say, in the topics, what I put is parts of our everyday reality, if you want to call it like that, like this picture from Berlin, Bahnhof Zoo,
Mm-hmm.
Zoo station. And in there, I put some science fiction figures or comic figures like we saw, like the Pink Panther, or like Goofy, but Goofy in
I show it again.
yeah, like for
That
example,
was the
that's
programmatic work at that exhibition. Yeah.
Goofy. It's like a normal person, but his face is goofy, and his partner is it's like a woman, but the face is like the McDonald's clown and has a McDonald's bag. So, and there is a monster, the tentacles, like trying to get a pink tentacle getting a car. And what it talks is also, again, satirical, like this mixture between worlds, like everything gets mixed in a chaos. Like the reality is not what we see with these eyes. It's just a little part of the reality. It's just a little cut of the reality. The reality, if you go farther, you have to put the psychological part, you have to put the subconscious mind. If you talk about soul or whatever, or other worlds, or life before and after that death, which all of cultures have been talking about, shamans, tribes, whatever, Indians, and they talk about of that, it means there are layers of reality somewhere else.
And
And this
everyone has a different reality.
and everyone has a different
Yeah,
reality, a way he feels reality anyway. So this means that um, I find the way into telling the all or the biggest part possible of reality if I mix it with this surreality and fiction, because I don't think that reality is only the everyday life, the everyday's life. It's just a little so poor a part. There is some other layers, and you can express them much more. Like you express with poetry things that you cannot explain. You have to express them with music, with poetry, with
arts,
painting,
arts.
art, and into the art itself, into the painting itself. If I mix these different worlds, I can talk about more things than what I could talk about if I just depict the everyday's life. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, so through the arts or through this overlapping with extreme fantasy figures, you would like to show the different reality or different aspect of the reality, and actually your reality maybe.
Yeah, put it away.
Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah.
I think, yeah, would you like to say something
Well,
for what
yes,
yeah,
yes,
actually, for the future,
yeah,
as we
yeah.
talked, it is like that you would like now to mix these techniques or these views which you had, the painting, with
That's
the
it.
printing methods
Oh
which
my,
you've
that you said it.
discovered in this year.
Yeah,
So yeah, maybe you can say something more about that, like
sure.
at the end of our conversation.
Yeah. Like before, like when I used some kind of a paintings, I we exhibited in 2018 for Day at Banff. So we could see like similar to that painting you showed. There were like also monsters like dinosaurs, and they were made like very with flat colors, like also like I don't know in English plakativ is German,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah, it's like in a,
like a
yeah,
cartoon
in
or
a poster language. Yeah,
that's right, with flat colors.
yeah.
And I made that with painting, and other parts were much more realistic ones, right?
Yeah, this is always a realistic part. By the way, I have to show this again. This is the Bahnhof Zoo building, which doesn't exist anymore.
More.
It was turned out, so it has also a documentary value, your work.
Yeah, well, that was the point that I wanted to mix that parts of not only reality but reality figurative or realistic way of painting, and with the other parts that are more like gesture, like you know what I mean, like when you draw the
Yeah,
brush and you
yeah.
see a fat color
So
dropping
you
or
use the color, yeah, of
so I want to. I don't know if I make that in the end. That's what I don't want to take any compromise or whatever. But
course.
yeah, but I want to say like if I mixed that before in these paintings in mind, I had it actually long time before ago that I may make a print with dots or maybe another technique I use, and also a paintbrush with the 3D materic painted.
Materiality of the paint, of the color, of the material. Yeah,
And like that, I would create this tension again
yeah.
between the one printed and the painted one.
Flat and three-dimensional. So it is also, it's again uh,
That's it.
duality,
That,
and it is again masked, unmasked, or two sides, two different elements which are coming together, and this way they are opening some other dimension. No?
That's it. That's it. And for the topic itself, yeah, as far as I use like dinosaurs and other monsters, I am thinking to use again this kind of figures of monsters, like again, like from
Of
this time,
course, I
Dracula.
expect you. I want to see more of them.
I want to, yeah, raise. So I can
Yes,
tell different movies. Actually, what I think, what I'm like, it's painting movies. What I do is like painting movies, more or less. That's what I think I'm doing. Yeah.
yeah. This is your background as a graphic designer, which comes out. Well, Hugo, thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
think we got a good overview of your work in Unmasked 1, but also in your artistic praxis and your understanding of yeah, how the art can save the world, hopefully. And yes, so see you again.
See
Many
you.
greetings to Spain.
Thank you. Greetings to Berlin and bye bye.